Hello, and thank you for purchasing Gauntlet Road. When you download Gauntlet Road, you'll see a zip file. When you extract that zip file, you have these other files which will show. One of those files is going to be the README document, which is going to be over here. That README document is going to show you that you want to move these two files over to your modules folder, and it'll show you the path on how to get there. This is be the extensions for OLOGs if you want to use OLOGs. I did not create OLOGs. I have, however, with the help of some people online in the forums, have edited it so that it works in Unity and with my tables. So once you get over here, you're going to follow this, which is going to tell you where to go. So if you go down to your C drive, you go down to users. I'm Mark, so yours would probably be different than here. You see app data. If you don't see app data, then you need to go over here and click hidden items. Double click on app data, go into it, go into roaming. And then if you're in classic, you're going to choose fantasy grounds, but I have fantasy grounds, I have classic up top. So I'm going to go to Smiteworks and then fantasy grounds. And then I'm going to be in the correct place to go to modules, which is the first thing I'm going to move over. I'm going to go back over to my zip folder, use control and get both of these, do a copy. I'm going to paste down here and paste up here. And then I'm going to move over to the extension folder if you want to use OLX. All right. I'm going to go back over here. Again, I'm going to copy, paste, and paste. And now you have it in, you have the modules and the extension in so that you can use the Gauntlet Road. Once you have that in, there's several other files here, which are Excel spreadsheets. So I'm going to go through those now. The first one is going to be the new creatures. This is going to give you the stat blocks for them. There are 3 different types of creatures. They go from 1 through 20 CR. This is going to be the prefix along with the name. So the impalers are DPS melee. The expounders are sorcerer casters, wild magic casters, and the tankers are tanks. So these are their abilities. These are stat blocks. You can go through and look at the various things that I did to create these. If you want to, fiddle with them, this would be let you show how I got the numbers that I got based on what the baseline is for this for the DM's guide, which is on page 274, which says if you create new creatures, this is what they should do based to the challenge rating. So that is the new creatures. This is going to be the treasure. So I have dialed back the treasure to about 60k for a 20th level player who if you leveled through this entire campaign, you played every day, you showed up for every combat, you got treasure from every combat, you'd have roughly 60,000 gold at the end of this, along with some magic items as well that you feasibly could sell to make it a little bit more than that. I took 80% off of that, and then I rounded it to the nearest, which gave me what I have for new players here, which ends up being 45,000 for a 20th level character if he started out, if they build one themselves. You can go back and look at how that's figured. It goes back to, this is the DM's guide for page 38, which is pretty strong. If you go and do that, then you're going to be in the hundreds of thousands. And then this is these are the DM's guide for the CR ratings. So I have weighted them and set them up, and you can go and look at how I figured out what the roles are going to be and how I got my averages and where I wanted to go with that. Or you can just look at the overview tab, and it'll show you how what the numbers are and how much gold they make this level. What's the gold for CR and how it increases, and then the number of combats that it requires per level. 2 level. Basically 5th through 11th is hell levels, but the rest of them are about 4 combats and they level, depending on the combat. All these combats are designed for deadly combats, which we go over here to the combat reference, which is over here, which will show you that what we're looking at, same thing over here, the deadly combats are between are listed here, and this is from 82 of the DMG. And this is some other information over here about how XP is, awarded and set up. I can't follow all of this because of the way that the coding works, but some of this is followed. But as far as doing if then statements on party size and creature size, I can't do that. And this is a little bit more information. Here's the scaling chart, just to help you read this. So if there's going to be two creatures, if there's going to be 1.5 creatures, if there's going to be one creature, or if there's going to be half a creature per PC. So if there's one PC, there'll be two creatures here. If there's two PCs, there'll be one creature here, statistically speaking. And I'm aiming for deadly combats with all combats. So if I'm going to have two, then what I need here is a quarter CR creature to make that happen. Right? I have two quarter CR creatures, and that creates a deadly encounter for a first level party. Um, if I want to do halves, I have to do one. So for one, it's a 1-to-1 ratio on half CR creatures on a party. If I want to do a CR1, then I have to have it works out to be two PCs for each NPC CR1 NPC, and that's where this are highlighted and the and how these are used, right? Um, so these are the creature lists. So you can see here, if you see anything in red, it means I feel like that's too strong, and I try to dial that back. Green is generally a little bit too weak. Yellow is something you should be concerned about. Like the swarms are a little bit tough for the lower level characters because of the damage resistance. Quicklings, a CR1 quickling will kill the party. Basically, they're probably closer to a CR3, maybe even a CR4, in my opinion. They're pretty nasty. The were animals are underpowered, in my opinion. If they have magic weapons or silver weapons. Um, anything, but basically anything in green means that I feel like it's a little underpowered. Anything in red means I feel like it's overpowered and you need to watch out for it. But these are all the creatures that are listed in here that are in the tables, so that you can look through that. And then we're going to open up Unity now. All right, and we're going to create a campaign. Road, and we're going to do 5e, and then we're going to do the random generator. All right, I personally like the wood theme, so I'm going to use that. And then we're going to do the modules. All right, and then this uses the essentials bundle, so I'm going to have to load all those. So I'm going to pause the video and come back in just a second when that's taken care of. Okay, now we have the modules loaded. We can set to all. We can close that down. And then we're going to open up stories. We're going to go to the group Gauntlet. And then here we can do the Gauntlet Adventure Notes. And this is going to be for your players. It's going to say about, like the hex crawl part where you do the survival check and the perception check. I give out a healing word ring at 2nd level, which is a no attunement ring that once a day they can do a healing word to another person in the party. I use the conversion shop, the coin and conversion shop from, I do not remember the guy's name, MK. So I use that as well. You don't have to, even if you don't use his version, the magic shop I have that has all the healing potions in it will work regardless, even if you don't use the coin conversion and mundane item shop. However, up here where they get the silvered weapons, you won't have access to that. You'll have to do your own whatever for that. I just let them go and buy all this stuff and get access to anything that's from this shop, including the magic shop, which has the healing potions, which are cheaper than the normal healing potions. Yeah, I don't know if you noticed, but a flask of weak healing, which is set up. All my items are set up to where they're parcels, so that your players can just drag and drop them onto their character sheet, and the parcel will do a negative income to their platinum, and then give them the item. So it deducts the money from them, and it sets them up with the item. And then there's also an action point where they can add this over to their action tab to do the action, and then they have to change the amount that they have on the action tab based on how many that they purchased. And the purchases are here along with a little something as far as how many gold you're paying per hit point of healing on average. So a weak potion is going to do 3.5 healing on average, and it costs 1 platinum. So it's just a math thing to say how much it is. So it's more efficient to use a bunch of weak healing potions to get your hit points back, because the cost to get hit points back per hit point is lower than if you say you get an ultimate, which is, it's 11, it's almost 12 gold per hit point back with the ultimate, but you get a bigger bang with the ultimate. It's 12d4. And there's also healing bundles here for as your characters get higher level and they come in and they create characters, they can just pull a healing bundle over, that'll have a bunch of the smaller potions on them if they want to use them, those instead. But this is the it goes into some of the stuff, like there's no traps, there's no tracking, there's too many creatures there, there's no undead. This is a life magic area, so they take damage. High fertility, only good creatures can do in the campaign. These are the blurps for each of the cities you can do. Any of this stuff may get updated as things go on, so it's not going to be exactly this. Um, so you want to make sure that you share that with your players. So share that record so that it says a P by it whenever you get this, so that your players can get it, and whenever they come in, you can share it to them as well. The next thing that we're going to look at is going to be the DM's quick notes, which is going to do the hex crawl stuff as far as what the perception rolls are and what they need to roll. And then you're going to have a section in here about the stories which you have for each of the boss fights. So there's a boss fight on each of the. So you have the Gauntlet Road map, which is the 4 towns are the ones in blue. So you have a boss fight at every even level at 4th and above. So you go through this map until you get all the way up to the castle, and that's the 20th level fight. And this lists all those and lets you get to them. Just to look at what it would look like. There's going to be a little bit of flair as far as the story, and it's going to help you. It's going to have a listing for the base if 3 PCs. So this is going to be the combat if there's 3 PCs. If there's some additional, so this is the one that you should edit. So basically, you should leave this one if just leave that just so you have an idea how it works, and then edit this one based on like how you need to change it. So what you want to decide is what you want to do is you want to look over here at this chart and say, okay, my party size is 6, so I need to go to 3,000, right? So I can look at here and see what the numbers are for them, and then edit this to where I want it to be to get to 3,000. So I can, add a couple of nulls, add that, add another pack leader, whatever, and I'm at 28. So I need 200 more, so I'm going to add 2 more nulls. And that's going to put me at 3K. So I'm exactly where I need to be at 3K with 6 party members. So that's set, and I can now use this, and that's my combat. And I can just like any other adventure, I can pull up the stuff on them and all that good stuff. So that's what that would look like. And as far as the map goes, so for the 4th level boss fight, fourth level boss fight map. You can go in here and do all that kind of stuff. It should like lock your tokens and line of sight's turned on, but you can set that stuff and then go and drop your party in and then go to the boss fights for them. So all that good stuff. And then when they kill the boss fight, they get to go to the loot tables. Actually, before I do that, this is the boss fights. Let's go into the randoms, which is, so once you get, these are the boss fights listing, which goes in, there's the champ shop, and then we have the scaling to the loot tables that you have, and these are this is just a level chart here so that you have it, but here are the loot tables. Let's close this out, right? So there are 3 loot tables, which are for the boss fights. The 4, 6, 8 is for +1s. The 10, 12, 14 is for +2s, and 16th and 18th are +3s. The way that I do this is weapons. All the weapons here are don't require attunement. Neither does the armor. The same thing is true for items like the Wand of the War Mage and Bracers of Defense. Right? They don't count as attunements in my campaigns. And I also play with the alternate rule where the number of attunements is based on your proficiencies. So I play, and I guess in a heavy magic campaign, most people would consider this a heavy magic campaign. Obviously, you can dial this back if you want. It's going to mean that they're going to have a little bit harder choices. There are some items in here that do not require attunement. And if they want to, like if they get a +1 sword and then they level up and they get a +2 sword, they can replace that based on the loot table. So they basically get 3 items from this table, one of which can be in the 8th level column. So they can't get anything out of here until they get 8th level. And then there's also an ammo in here if they want to put that on their action tab, if they random some ammo. And if you wanted to put that in the magic store, you could add that real easily if you wanted to do like allow them to buy magic ammo, because they're going to have a lot of money as they get probably about 8th level or so. They'll start having a lot of money on that front. And all this stuff is set up as parcels. So like this is going to be a parcel that they can just drop and drag into the character sheet. And for like this Frostbrand, I've coded this in such a way that it's going to show that D12 is magic damage, and then that 6 damage is going to be cold. So it's not going to double it up. There's some errors with some of the items that are coded in to Fantasy Grounds normally when you have this additional damage for either like Frostbrand or Flame Tongue. The way that it sets it up is that additional damage is also counted as magic and slashing. So if you have something that is resistant to slashing, that D6 will be resisted as well. And if you have something that's resisted to cold, then that D12 will be resisted as well. Where in the way that I've coded this, they have to have that resistance to slashing, resistance to magic to get this one, and then it won't affect that one, and vice versa. But I'll let my players pull this stuff over and look at it if they don't know what they are. It's basically a way for them to look through the DMG. It also lets them build a character based on whatever level we are. So if we're 10th level encounter, they can go, okay, well, we're 10th level encounter. That means I get 3 items off this and 1 item off of this. So they know what they can build. They can pull up my server and they can just go through and build up whatever character that they want. Also, there's some action items. So like on the for the Frostbrand, it gives you resistance to fire. Yeah, so this is an action tab that'll give you the effect that you need to do resistance to fire. The armory will also give you the immunity to crits, so you can add that to your character sheet to theirs. Another thing that I have done as far as the loot tables go, I've given them for polearm mastery. I've given them that one, the butt end. So if they need that, it's already there. But if they're not using that, and like they get a spear or something, then they can just take that off. But this is going to give that buddy an attack. So the 1d4 for that, right? And I did that for the halberd and the glaive and the spear. So that's in place for those items. And that's true for all 3 levels of it. Those items, the +1, +2, +3s, right? They all have those extra little bits in them for that stuff. And there's also all other parcels as far as like the healing potions go. All those parcels are in here as far as how much they cost to get them, and the various levels that they can get them at, and the bundles as well, and how much those bundles cost. So if you want to, if you want to just drop one on them, you can, and it'll automatically do it. So you don't have to like calculate anything. So if you want to go, okay, well, here's 10 healing potions, you can do that. You can take care of that. So that takes care of like setting up. The next thing that you would go into would be the PCs. So we would be looking at doing the pre-mades. All right, let's show the pre-mades. Characters. We're gonna go to import. And let's get the 12th level board. Great Weapon Master, 12th level. And the healer, 12th level. And then 12th level Swarlock. Wizard, 12th level Wizard. And then 12th level Crossbow Expert. Go back here. Okay. Create that, give him a picture. Alright. Put him in the party sheet. And just to go over this again, if you go to stories, Then we're going to go to the Gauntlet DM's quick links, and we're going to go down to the 12th scaling. All right. So there's only one person in there. We'll do a random, and we're going to get the Shadow Dancer. All right. So you get ones or twos here. Right, a 1 and a 2 is what we end up getting. All right, so if we go in here and we put the others in, so we'll do the Great Weapon Master next. Move that there. I did not move the other one to Combat Tracker. Okay. Robots. Move that there. Move that there. There. Move that there. He's in there, okay. Okay. So now I have 6 in there. So now I should be looking at a difference between 6 and 12. Something in between 6 and 12. Right? And that's what the roll is for that. However, this is a 12th level combat. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go to the DM quick links again. We're going to go down to the story for 12th, which is there. All right, and then we're going to go to the 12th map, which is there. All right, and then this is going to be one of those situations where we're going to do the boss fight, right? So we have 6 people, so we're going to go over here. We're going to do the edited, and these are the new guys. So you know you're going to have the standard stuff for them, you know, that you see as far as abilities and you know, casting stuff. You have the images for them. You want to use those. The same thing's true with the impalers, which is you know, the DPS guys, right? And then the tankers, right? So that's what they look. And the tokens on these are a little bit different so that you can see those as well. Um, so I have a 12th level boss fight with 6 people, so I'm looking for 27. It looks like I've got 23, 70, I'm sorry. I'm looking for 27,000. I got 27,003. So I'm a little bit over. As far as the pricing goes, as far as XP goes, it looks like the comrades are a little bit cheaper than by 600. So I'd rather go under a little bit. But if you wanted to do for a more powerful party, you could go over a little bit. You know, it's sort of a personal preference as far as that goes. So I'm going to change this to 4 and change this to 2, recalculate, and now I'm 300 under what I'm looking for. No. Did I do that wrong? 2. Yeah, I did the wrong one. So I did the Impaler, which was the higher XP one. All right, so that's 26.7, which is 27,000 just underneath that. All right, I will send that over here. All right, I want to make them visible. I guess we can just use one of the first level ones if we want to. All right, so you know we're here, and then we would just, you know, drop the NPCs in, drop the PCs in, and then you know we have the line of sight going on. We can set everyone up in this room. You know, we put the tankers in front, all that good stuff. You know, set up the casters in the back, DPS up that way, right? And you know, you do your standard stuff with your combat as far as setting all that stuff up. and setting all your players. Your players set themselves up and all that good stuff. So they come through the door, and then this is the big boss fight. You go through the boss fight, um, and then when you're done with the boss fight, they'll be able to. This is a 12th boss fight, so you can still do um, your regular treasure generation for the combat, as well as the plus magical loot table that they're going to get, which is just going to be on the loot table too for this one, because it's 12th. So they're going to get one of the first two brackets, which means they can get a +2 sword or shield, some miscellaneous items. They cannot get off the 14th level stuff because they're not 14th level yet. They're just 12th, so they can only get the top. So we did this one, right? So this is what we have, and we can just generate the treasure on that. It's going to roll on the tables, and the tables are over here. So if you go over to all, and then you go over to random treasure, and this is a logs treasure. If you want to go through, and goes back to the spreadsheet that shows, what you can do, and it goes back to these are the Xanathar's um, guide table that you can roll that it's rolled off of if they roll a 91 to a 100. So for each one, they're going to get a certain amount of loot, and there's a bunch of these. So in this situation, what you're going to see is you're going to see the six CRs being rolled on, the 7 CR, and the 8 CR, because we have 3 different CRs on this particular combat, right? So it's rolling on 3 different charts. You have 6 people. You have I'm sorry, not 6 people, but 9 NPCs, and this is what you end up with your loot, right? So it looks like they rolled a staff of adder and a potion of animal friendship, which got them a major, and they got a 97, so that'll give them the potion because it's over 91, right? And you can show these to your players or not show them to your players. And anyway, so once that's done, you go over here, and then as far as XP is concerned, you just drag the combat over here and then award it, and then all the players have the XP. You go over to the inventory and you drop this parcel that's just been created in there. You can share it with a group. And then if you want to, you can just sell these for whatever they're worth at 50%. And now if they don't have a specific number on them, if you try to sell them, it's not going to work because it's going to say we don't know exactly what this cost is. So you will have to edit those, but that has more to do with the items that are in there, not so much anything to do with my adventure. All right, so that takes care of showing you the creatures. I showed off the new races. I awarded XP, showed you the combat. So as far as like even the boss fights are really quick. The random tables are fast, and so are the boss fights, which allow you to go through and run a campaign really quickly. And there's a lot of different forest maps here. I don't know if I showed you that, but you could throw them on the forest maps if you wanted to as well. There are 12 different forest maps. So like they're all line of sight as well. So if you take the characters on here, they're line of sight stuff. If I can hold on to it. So that's 3. That's 4. I think one of some of these have like water on them. Like 2 looks like it has water on it. My wife's favorite is 6 because um, it's got like this town thing on it that she really likes. And then as far as stories go, make sure that you share the Gauntlet notes with the party because it's going to have all the notes for the party. So as they go through here, they're going to be able to read everything and pull stuff over. And if you have MK's coin conversion, it'll throw that up, and you can go through, and they can pick what they want to do with that. But that's not my module. I have that just to make life easier for the people. Even if you don't have that, the magic one will work for them, and they'll be able to get into this and do whatever they want. And as far as being able to read all this stuff as well. All right. And that's it, man. If you have any questions, let me know. If you want to edit this, feel free to. If you want to use this as like a fill gap, so like you have some holes in your adventure, you can roll up some creatures and go that route. But that's obviously up to you. I hope that you try them out. I hope you buy the module and enjoy it a lot. If you want to leave me some feedback on it, let me know what you think. I'd appreciate it.